is live in the Jerusalem newsroom with more on this. Hi, Trey.
Laura, information today is shedding light on the Iranian seizure of a British oil tanker on Friday. Newly released video does show a dramatic scene as Iranian troops armed with machine guns rappel from a helicopter to board the British-flagged Stena Impero. The vessel was carrying no cargo but had a crew of 23 people on board. Radio transmissions between the British and Iranians paint a picture about how the event unfolded, as the Iranian military vessel demands that the British tanker alter its course. A British military ship tries to explain the request is a violation of international law.
Please confirm that you are not intending to violate international law by unlawfully attempting to board the MV Stena.
If you obey, you will be safe.
The British tanker was ultimately taken into Iranian custody, where it remains. Now, over the weekend, British Foreign Minister Jeremy Hunt called on the tanker to be released after saying that the seizure appears to be a tit-for-tat situation after the British detained an Iranian oil tanker earlier this month, suspected of trying to deliver oil to Syria. Britain maintains that taking the Iranian ship was legal, as Britain's defense secretary said overnight that Iran taking the British tanker was illegal.
It is absolutely clear. I spoke to our maritime commander out in the region today, early this morning. It's very clear that that ship was in Omani waters. This is an illegal and hostile act.
The Iranians also stopped a second oil tanker in the Gulf on Friday. It was ultimately released. Both of these actions, though, have led the United States and its allies to beef up military presence in the Gulf in anticipation of the possibility of a larger conflict. Laura?
All right, Trey Yanks for us in our Jerusalem newsroom. Thank you so much.
Scorching heat waves sweeping across the country. 4 people died in Maryland, where the temperature hit a staggering 122 degrees in Baltimore. 2 others died in Arizona and Arkansas. Rick, what's the latest on the weather?
Yeah, the 122 wasn't the actual air temperature. It was the heat index. And heat index is a real thing. It's how our body perceives the temperature and the ability for our body to cool down. You can't cool down when it's humid because the evaporation doesn't happen off your skin. We have another day of this. Take a look at the map, show you what's going on. Still excessive heat advisories in effect, heat warnings. Anywhere you see that red, you'll notice it's gone across the central and northern plains, though. That's great news. A big cold front has moved through, and it's really dropped those temperatures down. You're at 64 is what you feel like in Minneapolis right now, 91 already here in New York City. We've got that line of storms, some of them severe today, across parts of Nebraska, parts of Missouri. Be ready. It's going to cause some localized flash flooding. You don't want to hear any more of that, of the flooding across the plains, but you do have that here. This is what today looks like this afternoon. We're talking about very hot temperatures again. Get through today. Tomorrow, temps drop by around 20 degrees and things much better the remainder of this week.
After the march, the fight. Once again, Hong Kong's air is thick with tear gas. Police versus protester. Angry and determined, this is now a familiar game of cat and mouse.
We will keep fighting. Although we may get out today, but every week, maybe every day, every week, we will come out, march, and fight for what we want. Just the democracy and freedom and our human rights.
Wave after wave, the tear gas and pepper spray came in, choking and blinding protesters and press. But almost 2 months of demonstrations have hardened this resistance and strengthened their resolve.
Police have been pushing this crowd back for hours, and there are still thousands on the streets. They're shouting, "Liberate Hong Kong." They're calling for revolution.
A battle against an extradition bill has now become a fight for full democracy, freedom from a Beijing-backed government. The action started earlier when groups barricaded roads. This driver was attacked when he tried to push back. For others who were trapped, it was a worrying change in tone.
I think today is a bit of a landmark. I've been here 40 years. This is the first time it's touched me. It's been Admiralty focused. I don't know why they're in Central right now. They're not even in Central. This is a highway to Park Fulham. You know, it's Sunday night. What's going on? Why is this van being smashed? I have no idea.
What's going through your mind when you see this?
Stay calm. Keep my kids in the car calm. You know, Hong Kong's an amazing place. These people have just the most amazing right to fight for Hong Kong. So I'm behind them, but at the same time, I want to get my kids home.
But hundreds of thousands in this city are still choosing peaceful protest. A hunger striker urges the crowds to keep going. This is Angel and her toddler's 5th march.
With a small child, I think this is still at least something that I can do. And the more the government want us to give up, because they drag on the policy and everything and the responses, the more I think we need to stand firm.
The clashes and confrontation that started about a bill have now evolved. They will not back down, they cannot stop, because they believe this is the last chance to save Hong Kong. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News, Hong Kong.
One day, Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready! Get ready!
If Jehovah came back right now, would you make it?
Hell is a real place, and I don't want you to go there.
We've been reporting on the bizarre phenomenon that seems to be taking place not just in this country, but all over the world.
Getting angry at God isn't going to solve anything.
Don't but dab me, young lady. I done said you can see that boy when we get to church.
This is not the way it's supposed to be.
Breaking news, there appears to be a rash of catastrophic incidents taking place across the state.
Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And then Jesus said, I will profess unto them, I never knew you.
Esta ha sido una mañana muy espantosa de un catástrofe después del otro.
Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So robes and positions and titles and classifications and auxiliaries and departments and works and paying your tithe and paying your dues will not save you.
We are still experiencing the aftershocks of the massive earthquake that have devastated this entire region.
But if you want to be raptured, you must be born again.
Citizens all in South Korea were here one moment and going the next.
You must be washed in the blood of the Lamb.
I'm on my way to church.
What, Mama? I just got off the phone with Mamie Cutler. She told me you the one got her granddaughter Jackie pregnant.
Pregnant?
Did I stutter? Pregnant, Bobby. What do you have to say for yourself?
Bobby, what's wrong with you, dude? Don't you know your mother loves you? She loves you. I love you. I'm your mentor. And you told me you would go to church today.
Brandon was looking forward to us going to church as a family again.
Brandon. For you. Mommy, are you sad that I'm here? No, baby. No. Mommy loves you. I wouldn't trade you for anything in the world.
It's over! We've all been left behind.
It's going to be joyful for those who are raptured, but it's going to be sad for those who are left behind.
Life is
life as we know it.
You swore to me that you were going to get yourself together and start coming to church with me.
Not today, okay?